this recording session. So again, chapter 6 of Northanger Abbey with Southern characters. So that's the one we're doing now. We've already done Persuasion, Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility, and this is the fourth one, Northanger Abbey. So, where are we here? Chapter 6. The following conversation, which took place between the two friends in the pump room one morning after an acquaintance of 8 or 9 days, is given as a specimen of their very warm attachment and of the delicacy, discretion, originality of thought, and literary taste which marked the reasonableness of that attachment. They met by appointment, and as Isabella had arrived nearly 5 minutes before her friend, her first address naturally was, "My dearest creature, what can have made you so late? I have been waiting for you at least this age." "Have you indeed? I'm very sorry for it, but really I thought I was in very good time. It's just but one. I hope you've not been here long." "Oh, these 10 ages at least. I'm sure I've been here this half hour. But now let us go and sit down at the other end of the room and enjoy ourselves. I have 100 things to say to you. In the first place, I was so afraid it would rain this morning, just as I wanted to set off. It looked very showery, and that would have thrown me into agonies. Do you know I saw the prettiest hat you can imagine in a shop window in Milsom Street just now? Very like yours, only with ribbons, only that the ribbons were, I don't even know what that word is. Only with ribbons that were green. I quite longed for it. But, my dearest Catherine, what have you been doing with yourself all morning? Have you gone on with Udolpho?" "Yes, I've been reading it ever since I woke, and I've got to the Black Veil." "Are you indeed? How delightful! Oh, I would not tell you what's behind the Black Veil for the world. Are you not wild to know?" "Oh, yes, quite. What can it be? But don't tell me. I would not be told it upon any account. I must know. I know it must be a skeleton. I'm sure it is Laurentina's skeleton. Oh, I'm delighted with the book. I should like to spend my whole life reading it. I assure you, if it had not been to meet you, I would not have come away from it for all the world. Dear creature, how much I'm obliged to you. And when you finished Udolpho, we'll read the Italian together. And I've made it out of a list of 10 or 12 more of the same kind. And I've made out a list of 10 or 12 more of the same kind for you." "Have you indeed? How glad I am. What are they all?" "I'll read you their names directly. Here they are, in my pocketbook. Castle of Wolfenbach, Clermont, Mysterious Warnings, Necromancer of the Black Forest, Midnight Bell, Orphan of the Rhine, and Horrid Mysteries. Those will last us some time." "Yes, pretty well, but they're all horrid." "Are you sure that they're all horrid?" "Yes, quite sure. For a particular friend of mine, a Miss Andrews, a sweet girl, one of the sweetest creatures in the world, has read every one of them. I wish you knew Miss Andrews. You'd be delighted with her. She's netting herself the sweetest cloak you can conceive. I think of her as beautiful as an angel, and I'm so vexed with the men for not admiring her. I scold 'em all amazingly about it." "Scold 'em? Do you scold 'em for not admiring her?" "Yes, that I do. There's nothing I would not do for those who are really my friends. I have no notion of loving people by halves. It's not my nature. My attachments are always excessively strong. I told Captain Hunt at one of our assemblies this winter that if he was to tease me all night, I would not dance with him unless he would allow Miss Andrews to be as beautiful as an angel. The men think us incapable of real friendship, and I'm determined to show 'em the difference. Now, if I were to hear anybody speak slightingly of you, I should fire up in a moment. But that's not at all likely, for you're just the kind of girl to be a great favorite with the men." "Oh, dear," cried Catherine, coloring. "How can you say so?" "I know you very well. You have so much animation, which is exactly what Miss Andrews wants. For I confess there's something amazingly insipid about her. Oh, I must tell you that just after we parted yesterday, I saw a young man looking at you earnestly. I'm sure he's in love with you." Catherine colored and disclaimed again. Isabella laughed. It's very true, upon my honor. But I see how it is. You're indifferent to everybody's admiration except to that one gentleman who shall be nameless. Nay, I can't blame you. Speaking more seriously, your feelings are easily understood where the heart is really attached. I know very well how little one can be pleased with the attention of anybody else. Everything is so insipid, so uninteresting. That does not relate to the beloved object. I can perfectly comprehend your feelings, but you should not persuade me to think but you should not persuade me that I think so very much about Mr. Tilney, for perhaps I may never see him again. Not see him again. My dearest creature, don't talk of it. I'm sure you would be miserable if you thought so. Okay, quick break to whet my whistle. All right, this is, again, chapter 6 of Northanger Abbey. And again, if you're watching on YouTube, obviously it's here. If you're watching somewhere else, it's on YouTube. Let's see. All right, where were we? No, indeed, I should not. I do not pretend to say that I was not very much pleased with him, but while I have Udolpho to read, I feel as if nobody could make me miserable. Oh, the dreadful black veil. My dear Isabella, I'm sure there must be Laurentina's skeleton behind it. It's so odd to me that you should never have read Udolpho before, but I suppose Mrs. Morland objects to novels. No, she does not. She very often reads Sir Charles Grandison herself, but new books do not fall in our way. Sir Charles Grandison, that is an amazing horrid book, is it not? I remember Miss Andrews could not get through the first volume. It's not like Udolpho at all, and yet I think it's very entertaining. Do you indeed? You surprise me. I thought it had not been readable. But, my dearest Catherine, have you settled what to wear on your head tonight? I'm determined at all events to be dressed exactly like you. The men take notice of that sometimes, you know. But it does not signify if they do, said Catherine very innocently. Signify? Oh, heavens! I make it a rule never to mind what they say. They are very often amazingly impertinent if you don't treat 'em with spirit and make 'em keep their distance. Are they? Well, I never observed that. They always behave very well to me. Oh, they give themselves such airs. They're the most conceited creatures in the world, and I think themselves they're the most conceited creatures in the world, and think themselves of so much importance. By the by, though I have thought of it 100 times, I have always forgot to ask you what's your favorite complexion in a man. Do you like them best dark or fair? I hardly know. I never thought about it. Something between both, I think. Brown, not fair, and not very dark. Very well, Catherine. That is exactly he. I have not forgot your description of Mr. Tilney. A brown skin with dark eyes and rather dark hair. Well, my taste is different. I prefer light eyes. And as to complexion, do you know, I like a sallow better than the other. You must not betray me if you ever meet with one of your acquaintance. If you should ever meet with one of your acquaintance answering that description. Betray you? What do you mean? Nay, do not distress me. I believe I've said too much. Let's drop the subject. Catherine, in some amazement, complied, and after remaining a few moments silent, was on the point of reverting to what interested her at that time rather more than anything else in the world, Laurentina's skeleton, when her friend prevented her by saying, "For heaven's sake, let us move away from this end of the room. Do you know there are two odious young men who have been staring at me this half hour? They seemed, they really, they really put me quite out of countenance. Let us go and look at the arrivals. They'll hardly follow us here." Away they walked to the book, and while Isabella examined the names, it was Catherine's employment to watch the proceedings of these alarming young men. "They're not coming this way, are they? I hope they're not so impertinent as to follow us. Pray let me know if they're coming. I'm determined I will not look up." In a few moments, Catherine, with unaffected pleasure, assured her that she need not be longer uneasy, as the gentleman had just left the pump room. As the gentleman had just left the pump room. "And which way are they gone?" said Isabella, turning hastily round. "One was a very good-looking young man." "They went towards the churchyard." "Well, I'm amazingly glad I've got rid of 'em. And now, what do you say to going to Edgar's buildings with me and looking at my new hat? You said you'd like to see it." Catherine readily agreed. "Only," she added, "perhaps we may overtake the two young men." "Oh, never mind that. If we make haste, we shall pass by 'em presently, and I'm dying to show you my hat. But if we only had a few minutes, there will not be. But if we only have a few minutes, there will be no danger of our seeing 'em at all. I shall not pay 'em any such compliment, I assure you. I have no notion of treating men with such respect. That's a way to spoil 'em." Catherine had nothing to oppose against such reasoning, and therefore, to show the independence of Miss Thorpe and her resolution of humbling the sex, they set off immediately, as fast as they could walk, in pursuit of the two young men. All right, that was chapter 6. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you subscribe if you haven't. Like the video if you can, and I will see you next time.